Hello everybody, welcome back to my Bloodborne Noob guide. In this episode, I'm going to spend a little bit of time explaining Visceral Attacks and some more advanced combat strategies that we're going to have to start training on to get better at Bloodborne, because they're going to become an integral part of progressing through some of the missions later on. So this episode is going to be fairly short, but I'm going to try to focus real quickly on some of these points and get back to some more gameplay. So up until now, we've mainly been playing our character, our strength character, with the idea that we're gonna pancake people with our heavy attacks and then use the openings that those cause to really cause a lot of damage on our opponents. Same thing with the Kirk Hammer. The heavy attacks will pancake the enemy. One of the benefits of a strength character, and it gives you some more opportunities, as well as unleashing heavy damage. However, one of the integral parts of the combat system in Bloodborne is visceral attacking people. The idea behind visceral attacks is you use your firearm and you stun somebody with it right when they're about to enter an attack phase animation. So I'll explain more in detail when I actually give some demonstrations. But for now, you're going to have your pistol, and a lot of guides out there, they do recommend using the blunderbuss for new players, just learning how to visceral attack. However, there's a few reasons why I do not recommend using the blunderbuss to start with. The first reason is mainly because there's a delay in firing. And this is my own personal pet peeve against the blunderbusses, is that there's that click right when you pull the trigger. I want to say it's maybe a quarter to a half-second delay, and to me that's just too much. Whereas with the pistol, as soon as I pull the trigger, a shot goes off. It's a much less delay, much less prominent delay. There's another reason too, and another reason why people recommend this for new players is because the shotgun shells shoot a ton of shots, a ton of bullets, and because they hit the enemy in a wave-like pattern, it allows for some flexibility with interrupting an enemy's moves and causing a visceral attack. Because there's kind of like I want to say there's a margin for error. Because some bullets may hit an enemy first, others may hit it a little bit later in a small time window. And that stunning period, that stunning window ends up being larger for the blunderbuss. However, I do not think it's a good idea to train with this type of weapon. I think it's better to know exactly at what point you are causing a visceral attack or a stunning animation to occur where you can do a visceral attack on an enemy. That is right when you want to stun. Usually it's going to be when the enemy holds their weapon or their item or whatever it is they're using to strike you. It's almost like they're charging to hit you. And right at the peak of that charge in their animation, you can see it. It's like their animation stops for a brief moment before they get ready to strike. That is when you want to attack the enemy and get off your stun so you can do a visceral attack. So it's important to pay attention to things like that in enemies. Most enemies can be stunned in this manner. Let's go attack these guys. As you can see, it does a shit ton of damage, kills these guys instantly, totally removes all possibility of just us getting our face smashed. Well, I wouldn't say possibility because we can miss it and then get owned. But one of the nice things about firearms is that they do stagger your opponent. Blunderbusses have a little bit more of a stagger than pistols do, but regardless, most firearms will stagger your opponents. So that's very important to keep in mind. Now, when it comes to dealing damage with your visceral attacks, one of the things that you need to focus on too is statistically, what are your stats at? So, for this build right now, we have 17 strength. Once we start hitting 18 strength, we will start to see a vast increase in damage from our visceral attacks, because visceral attacks scale with strength and skill up past 18. to around 50 or so, which is pretty much the soft cap on both of those stats. You also see it, my understanding is it also goes up with level as well, but very slightly. You're mostly going to see your damage increases based on your stat for whichever weapon you're using going up. And it's not really because it's weapon damage. You'll notice that when we do the visceral attack, the weapon goes away. He attacks with like a, if you actually look closely, it's like a weird bestial claw. It's like he transforms his hand takes on a bestial, slightly bestial form, and he just sticks it in there and rips out pretty much everything that's inside of your opponent. So that's in general visceral attacks, and that's what we're going to be focusing a lot on in our combat. So if you feel like you need to practice, this is a very good area to practice. At least it gives you some enemies to practice on. A regular jabroni dude. You get two of the fat mofos over here. If you go inside, I'm going to get rid of my blunderbuss because I don't really want it. Watch out. You know, if we go up through here, kill these jabronis. Actually, this is kind of like a really good way to do a run for bullets and health potions. So if you're ever really low, it's kind of a good run to do. You start down from up there, come down, kill the guy. Sometimes he drops a potion. Kill those two guys. They almost always drop 2, but sometimes they drop 4 each. Go up here, get those bullets from that guy. You go over here, you kill these guys over here. Every once in a while, these guys will drop a potion too. I'm calling them potions, so I really should call them blood vials. Nope, nothing. Nothing. There's going to be one more guy up top here. Nope, nothing. Now what you can do is you can either go kill the wolves. The wolves almost always drop potions. These guys also drop potions over here as well. He gave us 2 on that one. And then these guys over here, they usually drop 3 each. For the wolves, they usually drop 3 each. So that's a pretty good run to do if you're low on potions from screwing around and you want to get some. So you can just go fight through here. Then there's actually the lantern over here. So you can go all the way back there and go back home if that's all you need. Or you can go die. You can actually get killed by something. Get killed by a bird or something like that, and then you'll just respawn back at the start, go up here, pick up your souls or your blood echoes, and keep on pushing forward. So in general, that's visceral attacks. That's kind of the idea behind them. We're going to be doing them a lot more, so get some practice. It's a good area to train to get some of those. Another thing that you should get in the habit of doing is, let's make sure we have it on equipped here, is the small resonant bell. Okay? Now the small resonant bell is an extremely useful item because it allows you to do 2 things, actually 3 things of great importance with improving your skill and your character in Bloodborne. The first thing is it allows you to get more blood echoes at no penalty. All you have to do is use it, even if you die by entering somebody else's world and helping them out. It doesn't matter. You still come back with blood echoes that you've gotten. So it's a great way to get experience, have a little fun with other players, and at the same time get some experience fighting some of the monsters, especially if there's new monsters in an area. So say we go to an area, you're not very experienced with it. You don't know some of the enemies you're going to fight. Everything seems really new. You just know that when you go in there, you're probably going to screw up and die because you require that type of training against the monsters first before you can actually go in there on your own. Use your small resonant bell. Chances are somebody's looking for a helping hand. Go help them out. You know, the worst that's going to happen is you die and you come back with more souls. or more blood echoes. That's not a bad thing. Same thing when it comes to getting more experience. And by experience, I just mean more knowledge on how to fight certain enemies. You're going to want to be able to fight those enemies and fight them better next time. You're going to learn like their visceral attack windows, when you can get a good shot on them to stun them. You're going to learn, you know, which enemies are tougher than others, what their special moves are. You're going to learn all of that at no cost. And finally, you get an insight. You get 1 extra insight. I'm actually going to go to the insight shop now and buy a hat, because I hate wearing this covered up thing here. Oh, we should buy the sinister one too. Okay. There we go. Pretty awesome. All right. So that pretty much concludes this part of the guide for now about my visceral attack rant. Whiskey is good. And, all right, let's keep going, shall we? So we left off at Cathedral Ward. And I'm going to direct you to the next area we need to go to progress the story. Now, believe it or not, you'll probably starting to get a better feel for Bloodborne at the moment, and you're starting to understand more how to play it, and you're also probably understanding more that a lot of the different routes and stuff that we're taking, a lot of them intertwine, can get very confusing and intermingle with each other. You even probably already realize that you can totally skip that first boss. We can totally skip it. The first boss we fought, we can totally skip it. That's right. We don't have to fight that thing at all. Don't have to. Just come run right past it, go fast, fight Gascon, Father Gascon, and then that's it. We're done. Cool, right? We don't have to do that. So, there's a couple different paths here. You've got the left path up front, and this right path that's currently locked by a door, which we'll get in later. For now, we're just going to go to the left path. And you're going to see this is going to be a new enemy. Now, these guys are pretty easy to visceral attack. So pretty much right there is when you want to hit them. There you go. Problem solved. Okay, blue elixir is a very rare item. That's a good drop. Here comes another one. Same thing, he's going to be like, "What are you doing? I'm going to hit you!" And you hit him. Now that's a cool thing about visceral attacks. Right there. And I'm glad this happened. Is you see how I got hit right when I stunned him? Now, one nice thing about this is that even though I got hit, I can regain that health right away from the visceral attack just by executing it. So, in a way, it kind of mitigates a small amount of risk that comes from doing a visceral attack. Watch out for this bullshit right here. So, I was fucking around earlier and I picked up some items here. There's a suit of armor there. So make sure you grab that. But do not get hit by the black hole. Please don't do that. Okay, thank you. If you do have the Old Hunters downloadable content, once you get once we get a certain piece of equipment, or an item, this portal will take you to the Old Hunters DLC area. It's actually fairly challenging. I don't recommend going there until you're about level 70. So if you did happen to have the Old Hunters DLC, I will cover it briefly, but I won't be covering it as far as the bosses and the items and so on and so forth. That's something later on, perhaps, if you guys want me to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go this way. Small little path on this overhang here. Go down here. And be careful, don't get taken off guard. You'll notice there's a bunch of guys here. When I first saw these guys, I was like, oh, jabroni retards. Easy mode, right? Yeah, but you got to be careful. They got dogs in the mix here, people with guns. Okay, so you really want to be careful here. You really want to be careful. You could get taken off guard. The dog just killed itself. That's awesome. See, look at that. You can easily get killed here if you're not paying attention. That's because even though these guys look like the pathetic guys we've been fighting, you see how much damage they did and how much they took? They're a higher level version of those enemies, so be very careful here. I've died more than once to those guys simply because I assumed that they're just pathetic jabronis from the previous area, but they're not. They're a little bit tougher. This guy is kind of a douche. He's got 2 dogs that come and help him out. Just back up a bit, lure the dogs away. Awesome. Objective completed. Okay, this lets us go inside the building here. Now this is one of the NPC guys. This guy has his own quest line. You can do various things with him. Just cooperate with him. He'll give you some fire paper. He'll come in handy later. And this guy's kind of an interesting character. He talks to you a lot about the story, about the healing church, about Bergenworth. And as you discover more information about the story, he actually has more dialogue options that open up, which is really cool. So he kind of explains in general some of the more interesting aspects of the storyline. I remember when I first met him and talked to him, I was like, wow, mind's blown. I wonder what the hell's going on here. Like, what's going on with this church, this healing church? Oh man, I just missed the... Oh well. Now later on, we're going to unlock the ability so that when we visceral attack people, you can not only heal yourself, but you can also regain ammo and health. Also can get more experience. So visceral attacking is one of those things where, like, you want to be able to try to master it when possible. Just one of the most important things is to just look out. Always keep your eyes open for that pause, that attack in an enemy's, that brief moment before an enemy swings his weapon, where he's open for attack. That's the moment you want your bullet, your round from your pistol to hit your enemy. Tempering Bloodstone. We'll learn more about that in a minute. So watch out for this wolf. This is a one-on-one wolf attack. Whoops. So I'm getting my face fucked right now. It's because I didn't have my gun out. Again, right when his weapon is up in the air, you attack him. Now, say you suck at visceral attacking. One of the things that you want to do here is right when he attacks, you want to sidestep him and hit him in the ass. It's the best way to beat this guy, okay? Because those guys are very aggressive front to back, but side to side, they suck ass. They're very limited side-to-side attacks. If you can dodge their moves, just dodge right past them, right when they attack, you will have a much better time of fighting them. Alright, so what we're going to do... I'm getting a lot... There it is. I'm going to go down here. Fuck bladders. Some antidotes up here. Make sure you have these equipped. Okay. And actually make sure, especially if you're new to this game, make sure you have Bolt Hunter masks equipped as well. Okay? Those are extremely important to have equipped. And why I say that is, say you're with 3 guys, you're with 2 other guys, you're fighting a boss, you're kicking ass, but say the boss pulls something out of his ass, he kills your 2 buddies, you're like, shit, without them I don't really stand a chance, I'm sucking ass, I don't know how to fight these guys. And say, like, you're just, the chances of you dying are really high, you don't have any health pots left. So, in that instance, you can actually use one of these during a boss fight. And you'll be able to escape the boss battle. As long as you have like 4 to 5 second window where you can use it, you'll be good. Okay? And you'll go right back to your last lantern with all your souls still intact, like as if you never even died. Or never died at all. So, it's awesome. Save those. They're extremely valuable to have on your character. So we get our Molotovs clicked here. And we got our... Gotta get our antidotes. I'm actually gonna put the antidotes here. The only reason why is just because the antidotes and the Hunter's Mark, or I'm sorry, the Hunter's Mark and the fire paper, they're just, the colors are very similar, so I like to separate the colors so it's easier to, so I don't get confused, don't accidentally skip over it while I'm slamming through items. Let's see what else we got in here. That's about it, I think. Everything else is, I'll put some pebbles in there. You never know, I want to throw a rock at somebody's face. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Take that shit off. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. So I'm going to use the bell here. It's very simple. All you do is use your small resonant bell. And this is a new area, okay? Haven't done anything here. The door, we haven't even unlocked this door yet at all. Door is not unlocked, okay? Not unlocked at all. And just chill out for a minute. Go grab some whiskey. You know, can't. Oh, well, there we go. Now, what this lets us is this lets us go get some experience with the area. It's a very useful tool. Now, say for example, you feel like your guy's a little weak. He's not strong enough. You can always go here and use your small charm and get some experience. You can see experience is shared. So it's not like it only depends on you killing enemies. It's not like that at all. It's all about just everybody just working together to win. And if you end up helping the other guy end up all the way through beating the boss, I mean, that's awesome. You get all that experience from beating the boss too. Granted, it's a little bit, it's more or less half. So you're not getting as much as if you were personally playing through it, but it's still something. I mean, they have to offset the risk somehow, right? Another thing to notice too is that you'll notice that my health is a lot less than it used to be. Oh, this is such a good position for that swing. Oh, you suck. That area effect part of this thing, cool. It's really awesome. You don't even really have to hit the guy to get some damage off of people. It's pretty awesome, the area effect on this thing. But yeah, we get some experience, kill a bunch of people. You know, who knows what could happen. But you'll notice my health is significantly lower. So you always got to pay attention to that. I don't know what the hell this guy's doing. Looks like he's got all this stuff unlocked. I know I'm kind of skipping ahead here. You guys are probably looking at this like, wait a second, I haven't done any of this. I don't know what the hell's going on. You know, and that's fine. Okay, that's fine. That's all fine and good. Alright, I'm just doing this so you guys can see like what the differences are between, you know, using the small resonant bell and going through the area on your own. This guy's probably already at the boss. See, he already started the final battle, which is fine. You know, he's fighting the boss fight already. Oh, these guys chasing me. Yeah, that's right. Zombie dodge for the win. Can't stop the zombie dodge. there's actually quite a lot to do here. So we'll get into all of this when we get a chance. Probably next episode, we'll start doing all this whole area here. But we'll go see if we can help this guy out with the boss battle. We're still kind of a ways away. Nope, here we go. Kind of freaky, right? Now this boss, I know we're kind of skipping ahead here, but this boss is skippable. You do not need to fight this guy. Alright, this is bad. We kind of just walk right into there. Aw, you idiot. Come attack me, bitch. You can use Visceral Attacks on this boss fight. Oh, I missed my window. Basically, when you see his right arm, or from our perspective, his left arm go up. Oh, I missed it, but that's the window you want to use. I don't think we're going to win this, but we're going to try. Oh, I missed it. So if you hit him in the back with a charged R2, you'll stun the guy, and it'll give you a window for a visceral attack. I thought that was for sure a hit. I really want to help this guy win. Use your Molotovs, man. We're dead. That's alright. We were kind of ill-prepared for this battle anyway, so no big deal there. And it's a pretty tough boss fight. I'm not going to discount this boss fight. You'll actually notice that a lot of people come and fight this boss. Some come fight this boss later. Because what you really get from beating this boss isn't really anything but access to the Chalice dungeons. So you're probably wondering, well, what the fuck's a Chalice dungeon? What the hell's that shit? Don't worry, we're going to get into all that in due time. Okay, for now, I hope everybody learned a lot about Visceral Attacks, about stunning your opponents from this episode. There's definitely a lot to learn when it comes to Bloodborne. When it comes to understanding, weapon strategies, weapon tactics, different builds. The key thing to remember is to keep your build focused with a clear sense of identity so that you can focus on those strengths and use those strengths to make up for your weaknesses. If you start to generalize your build, you're going to start seeing massive weaknesses that will discount your ability to fight stronger opponents. So always keep that in mind. For now, just to summarize this episode on some stats, I want to say that endurance and vitality, we've got those at a pretty reasonable level at the moment. For now, we're going to start dumping all our points into strength. We're going to make it so that when we hit somebody in the face, it hits them like a ton of fucking bricks. Because this game is an aggressive PvE game. You get your health back when you hit someone in the head. Why wouldn't you want to get your health back? better yet, why wouldn't you want to kill somebody while hitting them in the head? In other words, make yourself epic strong. If you get good at dodging, you get good at using your dodge ability, you get good at managing your endurance, these two statistics for vitality and endurance will suit you just fine. What we're going to focus on now is strength. Maybe put a few more in Blood Tinge to increase our weapon damage. But again, one of the things you need to focus on, really, pistol damage is minute in nature. Unless we're doing a really big focused build on Blood Tinge, pistol damage for the most part is going to be negligible. It does help, no doubt. But right now we want to focus on strength. We want to keep our character pinned on that stat. So we're going to dump our points into those statistics. Alright, so that pretty much concludes this episode. I hope everybody enjoyed. I hope everyone learned something. Please like and subscribe. I really want my channel to be a lot about noob guides for difficult games. I love difficult games. I love games that are challenging, but challenging because they're strategically sound, not challenging because they're broken and retarded. Okay? There's a difference, a very big difference. This one being the former. You know, it's a very strategically sound game with tactics and strategy. You got to think all the time, or you're going to die. I like games like that. Alright. So, see you guys next time. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments section below. I always appreciate some good comments. If you find out I'm doing something wrong, or if I suck ass, or if I'm not making things clear, please let me know. I'm very happy to find ways to improve my videos. Thanks.